Hi, my name is Kylie Rump, and this is my favorite topic from Sensation and Perception. So, my favorite topic comes from chapter 3, which was all about the eye and the retina. And I was hoping at the beginning of this semester, when I was reading the syllabus about this project, that my favorite topic would come from this chapter because I'm aspiring to be an optometrist, so an eye doctor. So, I was hoping that maybe my favorite topic would come from this chapter. Oh, and my chosen perception was the Herman grid. So, just a little bit of an overview on chapter 3. So, the main ideas were just to learn about the structures involved in the eye and just to know how these structures work together. So, some of the structures I'll be talking about in this presentation are the retina, which is the light sensitive layer at the back of the eye, and your rods, which are a photoreceptor that are responsible for peripheral vision and night vision. And then cones, which is another type of photoreceptor, and it's responsible for color vision. And then ganglion cells, which collect visual information and transmit it to the brain. So the next main point of chapter 3 was talking about how light is transformed into an electrical signal. And then along with that, we learned about how lateral inhibition works, which I'll cover more later in the slides. So who is Herman? This illusion is named after Latimer Herman, who discovered this phenomenon in 1870. So this illusion came to be when Herman was reading a physics-based text and the arrangement of figures caused such a grid, and he noticed gray spots in the intersections of the lines, and then he continued on to publish his findings, and it would become the Herman grid. So what is the Herman grid? I talked about it a little bit in the last slide, but the Herman grid is an optical illusion that causes the eye to see gray spots in the intersections of white lines in a grid. So although no spots actually exist. So if you look at the picture, if you look at it, you can see, if you look at the grid, you can see the gray spots in the intersections, but then when you look away, they kind of disappear. So this is a pretty basic version of the Herman grid, and it can be found in other forms, such as on a keyboard of a computer. So how does the Herman grid happen? It is a process called lateral inhibition. So the Herman grid can be explained by lateral inhibition, which is the capacity of excited neurons to reduce the activity of what is next to them. So a little comparison that I thought of would be when you shine a flashlight in the dark just onto a white wall, the spot that the light hits is bright and lightened up by the flashlight, and the surrounding area is dim or dark, and if not black. So basically, back in terms of lateral inhibition, one nerve cell is excited and it essentially dims its neighbors. So how does this relate to the Herman grid? So retinal ganglion cells are neurons in the back of our eyes, and they are located in the retina, which is the back layer of your eye. And these cells collect information and send messages through to the brain using the optic nerve, which the optic nerve is just the nerve that connects your eye to the rest of your brain. And then the brain then turns these signals of light into vision. So when we look at in the intersections of the Herman grid, our retinal ganglion cells that are there get lots of light, and that is basically how the retinal ganglion cells work in terms of lateral inhibition. So the receptors that are responding to the white intersections essentially quiet down their neighbors, which causes a reduced response, and this results in us seeing gray spots at the intersection of each white line. And these gray spots are essentially just the dimmed neurons. And then I inserted a picture just of a receptor into a cell. And yeah, so that was my favorite topic in sensation and perception.